Here's a wild stat for you. Breastfeeding can lower a baby's risk of infections by up to 50% and reduce a mom's risk of certain cancers by nearly 20%. Crazy, right? But wait, if breastfeeding is so incredible, why does it come with so much debate? Today, we're diving into the facts, the myths, and even some emotional stories about the power of breast milk. Trust me, you'll be shocked at what you'll learn. Now, before we get started, what's your biggest question about breastfeeding? Drop it in the comments and let's talk. Hey, everyone! Welcome back to Breast Milk Journey, the channel where we explore the science, stories, and secrets behind breastfeeding. Today, we're tackling the ultimate question: does breastfeeding really change the health of both moms and babies? Spoiler alert! The answer is a big yes, but it's not as simple as you might think. Let's face it, breastfeeding is one of those topics that stirs up endless debates. For some, it's a natural and beautiful experience. For others, it's a challenging journey full of sleepless nights and self-doubt. And then there are the misconceptions. Does formula make babies just as healthy? Is breastfeeding only about nutrition? Does it really matter in the long run? Well, we're here to cut through the noise and dive deep into the science, debunk the myths, and share some heartfelt stories that might just change how you see breastfeeding forever. But hey, let's make this interactive. What's the most surprising or confusing thing you've heard about breastfeeding? Share it in the comments below, because your experiences make these conversations so much richer. All right, hit that like button if you're ready to separate the facts from fiction. Let's get into it. Part 1. Common misconceptions about breastfeeding. All right, let me hit you with a question that might just blow your mind. What's harder than running a marathon, takes more determination than learning to play the violin, and can bring even the toughest moms to tears? Yep, breastfeeding. But don't worry, we're about to tackle the myths, the struggles, and the downright funny moments behind breastfeeding that no one warns you about. Trust me, this is gonna get real. Oh, and by the way, how many of you have heard something completely ridiculous about breastfeeding? Like, it's supposed to come naturally? Tell me in the comments, because we're busting all the myths today. Welcome back, folks, to the channel where we keep it real about parenting, baby care, and all the messy, beautiful chaos in between. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about, yet most misunderstood, parts of motherhood: breastfeeding. You've probably heard a lot about it, some good, some bad, and some downright absurd. Well, today we're separating fact from fiction. Breastfeeding is often painted as this magical, effortless experience, and for some, it is. But for others, it's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. It's full of challenges, confusion, and plenty of unsolicited advice from random strangers at the grocery store. Seriously, why does everyone suddenly have an opinion when you're carrying a baby? So, what are we waiting for? Let's dive into the biggest misconceptions about breastfeeding and figure out what's real, what's not, and what's just plain ridiculous. Don't forget to share your breastfeeding myths or experiences in the comments. You never know, we might feature them in a future video. Myth number 1. Breastfeeding is easy if you're doing it right. Let's kick things off with the granddaddy of all breastfeeding myths. If it hurts or feels hard, you're doing it wrong. Excuse me, have you met a newborn? Here's the truth. Breastfeeding is natural, yes, but so is learning to walk, and no one expects babies to nail that on the first try. Moms, it's okay if it's not smooth sailing from day one. Between latch issues, supply problems, and the never-ending cycle of feedings, breastfeeding can feel like a full-time job. And let's not forget the advice people throw at you. Oh, just make sure the baby latches properly and it won't hurt. Okay, Carol, but how about you let a baby chomp on your nipple for 45 minutes and tell me how that feels? Real talk. Breastfeeding takes patience, support, and sometimes a lactation consultant or two. And if you're struggling, you're not failing, you're learning. Moms, drop a heart emoji in the comments if you agree. Myth number 2. Formula-fed babies are at a disadvantage. Alright, let's bust another myth that tends to make moms feel guilty. The idea that formula-fed babies are somehow less healthy, less happy, or less loved. Spoiler alert, not true. Here's the deal. formula is a lifesaver. For moms who can't breastfeed, don't want to, or just need a break, formula is there to ensure babies are fed and thriving. And let's not forget the golden rule of parenting. Fed is best. That being said, breastfeeding does offer some pretty unique perks, like antibodies that boost a baby's immune system and that magical bonding time. But does choosing formula make you a bad mom? Absolutely not. In fact, choosing what works best for you and your baby makes you a great mom. So, if anyone's ever made you feel guilty about using formula, just smile and say, "My baby's happy, healthy, and fed. Now, how about you mind your own bottle, Karen?" Oh, and formula moms, shout out in the comments. You're doing amazing, and we see you. Myth number 3. Breastfeeding is only about nutrition. Here's a fun one. Breastfeeding is just about feeding the baby. Ha! If only it were that simple. Sure, breast milk is packed with nutrients, but did you know it's also like a customized medicine cabinet for your baby? When your baby's sick, your body literally tailors the milk to include more antibodies to help them fight off illness. It's like your breasts have a PhD in immunology. But it doesn't stop there. Breastfeeding is also about connection. When you're holding your baby close, their tiny hand gripping your finger, and those sleepy little eyes gazing up at you. That's oxytocin at work. This love hormone helps moms and babies bond and feel more connected. And let's not forget the mental health perks for moms. Studies show breastfeeding can reduce the risk of postpartum depression. It's like therapy, but with less talking and more cuddles. Moms, do you feel that bond when breastfeeding? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your experience. Myth number 4. Once breastfeeding is over, the benefits disappear. Now, here's a sneaky myth that likes to linger. Breastfeeding only matters while you're doing it. Wrong. The benefits of breastfeeding don't just vanish once your baby weans. For babies, it can mean a reduced risk of allergies, asthma, and even obesity later in life. For moms, it can mean a lower risk of breast cancer, ovarian cancer, and even heart disease. So, the next time someone tries to downplay the long-term impact of breastfeeding, feel free to hit them with a fun fact. Did you know breastfeeding is like an investment in your health and your baby's future? Call it the original life insurance. What do you think about these long-term benefits? Surprising, right? Let's chat about it in the comments. Alright, we've busted some big myths and had a few laughs along the way, but now it's time to dive into the science. What makes breast milk so magical? And why does your body seem to know exactly what your baby needs? Stick around, because the answers might just blow your mind. If you're loving this content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And hey, if you've got your own breastfeeding myths, stories, or questions, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next part. Part 2. The health benefits of breastfeeding. Alright, let me ask you something. What if I told you that your body is secretly running a 24/7 lab, whipping up custom-made superfoods specifically tailored for your baby? Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right? But nope, it's just breastfeeding doing its thing. And trust me, the science behind it is so mind-blowing, it'll make you feel like a superhero. Stick around because we're about to dive into the amazing health benefits of breastfeeding for both moms and babies. Oh, and quick question, what's the wildest thing you've ever heard about breast milk? Drop it in the comments, because you might just teach me something new today. Welcome back, amazing people. If you're new here, hi. And if you've been here before, you know we're all about keeping it real, sharing laughs, and diving into the messy, magical world of parenting. Today, we're talking about something truly incredible, the health benefits of breastfeeding. Now, I know we already busted some myths in part 1. If you missed that, pause here, go watch it, and come right back. But now, it's time to focus on the good stuff. Because, let's be honest, parenting can feel like an endless list of challenges, but breastfeeding? It's one of those rare things that gives you and your baby some serious perks. So, grab your coffee or your baby's bottle, and let's explore why breast milk is basically liquid gold. 1. The science-backed benefits for babies. Stronger immune systems. First up, let's talk about the baby immune system. Imagine your breast milk as a security team for your baby's body. It's packed with antibodies that fight off infections, especially during those critical first months when their immune system is still in training mode. And here's the coolest part. If your baby gets sick, your body somehow knows and starts producing more antibodies to help them recover. Like, how does it know? Breastfeeding moms. Have you ever noticed this? It's like your body's a mind reader. Comment below if you've experienced this superhero moment. Brain development. Now, here's one that might spark some friendly competition. Did you know that breastfed babies might have slightly higher IQs? Yep, studies suggest there's a link between breast milk and cognitive development. Before you start Googling how to raise a genius, let me clarify. We're not saying your baby will be solving quantum physics problems by kindergarten. But those nutrients in breast milk? They're like brain fuel, giving your little one a solid head start. No pressure, though formula-fed babies can totally thrive too. So, formula moms, you're still crushing it. Lower risk of chronic health issues. Here's the cherry on top. Breastfeeding can help reduce the risk of chronic conditions later in life. We're talking about asthma, allergies, diabetes, you name it. Breast milk is like a built-in defense system that keeps on giving. And moms, isn't it comforting to know that every late-night feeding session is setting your baby up for a healthier future? Let me know in the comments. What's been the most rewarding part of breastfeeding for you? 2. The amazing benefits for moms. Faster recovery after birth. Okay, moms, this one's for you. Did you know breastfeeding can actually help your body bounce back after giving birth? True story. When you breastfeed, your body releases oxytocin. Remember that magical love hormone? Well, it also helps your uterus contract and shrink back to its pre-pregnancy size faster. So, basically, breastfeeding is helping you heal while you're helping your baby thrive. Talk about multitasking, right? Lower risk of diseases. Now let's talk about long-term health perks, because moms, you're getting some serious benefits too. Breastfeeding can lower your risk of breast and ovarian cancer, heart disease, and even osteoporosis. So while you're busy taking care of everyone else, your body is out here taking care of you. It's like your body's little way of saying, thanks for all the hard work, mama. Moms, can we just give ourselves a round of applause for being actual superheroes? Drop a clapping hands emoji in the comments if you agree. Mental health and bonding. And let's not forget the emotional benefits. Breastfeeding isn't just about nutrition, it's about connection. When you're nursing, oxytocin helps you feel calm, relaxed, and deeply bonded with your baby. Of course, let's be real, those midnight feeds can feel anything but calm sometimes. But even in those chaotic moments, there's this undeniable sense of closeness that makes it all worth it. Moms, what's been your favorite bonding moment with your baby? Share it below. I'd love to hear your stories. 3. Fun fact: breast milk is custom-made for your baby. Alright, here's a fact that never fails to blow my mind. Breast milk isn't one size fits all. It actually changes its composition based on what your baby needs. If your baby is sick, your milk produces more antibodies. If they're going through a growth spurt, your milk adjusts to provide extra calories. It's like your body is running a personalized delivery service, and your baby is the VIP customer. How cool is that? Honestly, the more I learn about this, the more I'm in awe of the human body. Moms, have you ever felt like your body was just magic? Let's geek out together in the comments. Now that we've covered all the mind-blowing benefits, you're probably wondering, how do I make breastfeeding work for me and my baby? Don't worry. In the next part, we're diving into practical tips, tricks, and advice to make breastfeeding as smooth and stress-free as possible. So, don't go anywhere, you won't want to miss it. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and share it with a mom friend who could use some encouragement. And remember, the conversation doesn't stop here. Drop your thoughts, questions, or breastfeeding myths in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep rocking this parenting thing. You've got this. Part 3. A personal story. The power of breastfeeding. Alright, picture this. You're a new mom, sleep-deprived, stressed, and on the verge of giving up on breastfeeding. Sound familiar? Now imagine this. Your baby gets sick, and your body literally transforms your breast milk into a superhero serum to save the day. Sounds unreal, right? But trust me, this is one story you need to hear. Stick with me, because by the end of this, You'll be as amazed as I was when I first heard it. Welcome back, amazing people. If you're new here, hi. You've just stumbled into a space where we keep it real, laugh a little, okay, a lot, and talk about all things parenting. Today, I want to share a story that's equal parts heartwarming, mind-blowing, and a little magical. We've already covered the myths and science of breastfeeding, but now it's time to dive into the real-life power of this incredible connection. So, grab a cup of tea, or if you're a mom, maybe that's just your cold coffee from 3 hours ago, and let's talk about Sarah's story. Spoiler alert, it might just change the way you think about breastfeeding forever.
1.
Sarah's journey. The struggle is real. Let me introduce you to Sarah. She's a first-time mom, and like so many others, she started her breastfeeding journey full of hope and quickly found herself in the deep end. Sarah had latch issues, a low milk supply, and more late-night Google searches than she'd care to admit. Sound familiar? If you're a mom, drop a woman raising hand in the comments if you've been there too. After weeks of trying everything and still feeling like she was failing, Sarah was ready to throw in the towel. Breastfeeding wasn't the magical bonding experience she'd imagined. It felt more like an uphill battle. And then her baby got sick. The turning point, breastfeeding magic. It started with a runny nose and a little cough. Within a day, Sarah's baby was full-on miserable. You know how helpless it feels to watch your little one struggle, right? Sarah was desperate to do anything to help. Then something weird happened. She noticed her breast milk had turned yellowish. Freaked out, she did what we all do, she Googled it. And what she found, it changed everything. Sarah learned that her body was producing what's called immune milk. Basically, her baby's saliva had signaled to her body that they were sick, and her breast milk adjusted to create a custom blend of antibodies to help them fight the illness. Like, what? Can we just pause and appreciate how wild that is? Within days, her baby started to recover. Sarah said it was like her body and her baby were having their own secret conversation. And in that moment, she realized that breastfeeding wasn't just about feeding. It was about healing, protecting, and connecting on a whole new level.
2. Breastfeeding.
More than meets the eye. Stories like Sarah's remind us just how incredible the human body is. Breastfeeding isn't just about calories and nutrition. It's about building an invisible bridge between you and your baby. Think about it. Your body can sense what your baby needs and adjust in real time. Need more antibodies?
Done.
Growth spurt? Let me add some extra calories. It's like your body is running a 24/7 wellness spa for your baby. Moms, have you ever experienced something like this? Maybe your baby was sick and your milk changed too? Or you noticed a deeper connection through breastfeeding? If you have, please share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure others would too. 3. Why this matters. Now, let's get real for a second. I know breastfeeding isn't easy for everyone. Some moms struggle, some can't breastfeed, and that's okay. At the end of the day, fed is best, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution. But stories like Sarah's remind us why breastfeeding can be such a powerful tool, not just for nutrition but for connection, protection, and even a little bit of magic. And here's the thing, you don't have to do it alone. Whether you're struggling or thriving, there's a whole community of moms out here cheering you on. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed, take a deep breath. You've got this, mama. All right, now it's your turn. Have you had a moment where breastfeeding blew your mind? Maybe it was something unexpected, like Sarah's story, or just a small victory that made you feel like a rock star. Share your experience in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And hey, if you found Sarah's story inspiring, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, share this video with a mom friend, or tag someone who needs a little extra encouragement today. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together, figuring it out one day, one feed, and one story at a time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, let's recap what we've learned today. Breastfeeding is way more than just food for babies. It's immunity, bonding, healing, and long-term health for both moms and babies. We also busted some myths, explored the science, and heard a powerful personal story that showed us the emotional side of breastfeeding. So, what do you think? Has your perspective on breastfeeding changed? Did anything surprise you? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it with someone who might find it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to Breast Milk Journey for more tips, stories, and advice on parenting. And hey, if you have questions or want us to cover a specific topic, drop it below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.